Does the name Ruth Buzzy mean anything to you? If it does, you're probably a fan of 1970s television. Welcome back to the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. Coast to coast, border to border, tune in, iTunes, and Radio Loyalty. I want to give everybody a little bit of a spoiler. This segment of our wrestling shoot monologue stuff is going to have to do with Adam Pina. Pina Championship Wrestling. So, I've known Adam Pina for a couple years. 4 years, 5 years. Did a lot of stuff with Adam Pina with Concerts for a Cause. Did a lot of stuff with bands when they were doing bands at the Needle. I've had a lot of fun times with Adam. A lot of good little conversations with Adam. But for whatever reason, right around the time that Lance and Dan and everybody was having their falling out and there was all this fighting and feuding, I somehow became the biggest enemy to Adam Pina. Don't know where that came from. We've had him on the Sunday show. He sat in that recliner over there. There have been bands that have been out on tour that have done radio tours that I have given Adam access to and asked him to throw shows for them so they could get paid to get down the road. I don't know where the hatred came from, but at one point on a Facebook post one night, I was called a cancer to the professional wrestling business. And most people would look at that and go, oh my God, he called me a cancer. I looked at that immediately and went, I'm a Scorpio. I still say that joke. I will say that joke forever. And so somewhere along the way, I got to be his big enemy of Adam Pina. He hates me. So they did all this stuff with Taz and wrestling, and then we weren't doing wrestling, then we were doing wrestling, and now we're doing PCW. And I nicknamed it Pina Championship Wrestling. Part of the reason why I nicknamed it Pina Championship Wrestling is because Adam Pina and Mitch Bass are the, I guess, authority figures, commissioners, something in this. They're wanting to be on-screen characters. They're all about being on-screen characters. Oh my God, we got to be on-screen characters. Because everybody's got to be an on-screen character. Everybody's got to have a spot. And I'm like, my God, why can't you just enjoy wrestling? Why do you got to be out there? My Lord. So, somewhere along the way, I got to be a cancer in the pro wrestling business. Well, now we're buddies again on social media. Probably until he sees this video. So, I'm not a cancer anymore? I don't know what's going on. Here's the deal. Adam is a very, very smart individual. Very smart guy. I don't understand why the PCW thing is not drawing. Because I talk to people. I talk to various people. What I always think is funny about these shows. This is what's funny. Dating back to the Taz days. I would talk to people, whether it was Big Will, whether it was Kenny, whether it was Lance, Mitch on occasion. And I would ask him, how many people did you draw to your show? And there was a couple shows where I, would go out and count the cars, as they say. And then there's a lot of times where they have videos and photos pop up. But that wouldn't pop up till later, like midnight or whatever. Or people would get tagged in photos or whatever. Here's the deal. I would always hear from people where they would be like, well, how many did they draw? And everybody and their brother would be like, oh my God, they had a huge house. Oh my God, they sold out. Oh my God, they had 7,000 people. Somebody one time told me they had 7,000 people at a show. I don't know where you're putting these 7,000 people inside the old schoolhouse, but whatever. I heard all these numbers. Well, then at midnight or 1 a.m., when people started posting photos or tagging people in videos, or they would start putting videos up on their Facebook page, or MWE would put things on their Facebook page with Lance in them or something, it was always the same kind of crowd. And then I would hear from people, and then these same people would tell me a couple days later. They would wait till like Tuesday or Wednesday. They'd be like, yeah, there was nobody there. Oh my God, they drew the exact same amount of people they drew at their last show. Or, oh my God, they drew less than what they had at this show. And I'm like, why is it so important to kayfabe Jiggy? What do they think I'm going to do? Go get on the radio and talk about it? What? I always think it's weird. But here's the deal. Adam is a very smart individual. This guy knows how to market. I have seen shows that he has done at the Rusty Needle which have been standing room only, period. I have seen him perform some miracles with bands that you've never heard of. And he gets like 300 people to these shows. I don't know why they can't do it with a wrestling deal. I don't know. But my advice is put up a flyer. My advice is do some radio advertising. And this is another thing. Adam, Mitch, and Mike, when they did Concerts for a Cause with me, they seen all the stuff we did. They seen getting booked on TV. Pina even went on TV one time. They've seen if you do something with a nonprofit, you can get the radio station to give you airtime. If you do stuff, go get some sponsors to pay for some LED signs. Put some flyers up. You know how to do this. That's my frustration. You know how to do this. So, I don't know. I have always considered Adam a friend, even though I was considered a cancer, and then I wasn't a cancer. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I never knew, but apparently he really, really, really fucking hated me. Who knew? So, you know, there it is. But we can bond over one thing. We both like cats. So there's that. That's all I got on Pina. So we're going to take a break. One of the more shorter ones, if you think about it. Get a hold of us online, jiggyjaguar.us for the app. jiggyjaguar.com. And that's that. We're going to take a break. I still love you, Adam, even though you think I'm a cancer. It is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio show back in a bit.